Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, after completing a nearly 3-week vacation abroad, has become very visible on the campaign trail in poll-bound Tamil Nadu, where he has turned up the heat ahead of the upcoming election. Addressing a rally in Dharapuram on the second day of his visit on Sunday, Rahul Gandhi upped the temperatures, slamming Prime Minister Modi and the RSS and invoking the phrase "Nikkarwalas." He took pot shots at the RSS and said that Nikkarwalas from Nagpur cannot decide the future of Tamil Nadu, as it will be decided by the youngsters. It's a common refrain that Rahul Gandhi has been saying for the past 7 to 8 years. Nikkarwala refers to RSS's, as you know, erstwhile dress code of khaki shorts, and is a metaphor that is not lost on anyone, and therefore has been chosen especially by Rahul Gandhi, who has launched this scathing attack on the Prime Minister, saying that he will not allow Modi to destroy the foundation of India. Rahul says that. Rahul also said that Modi thinks he can blackmail the Tamil Nadu government and can control the people of Tamil Nadu. All of this part of a 3-day tour of Tamil Nadu that ends today, in which Rahul Gandhi has been making what he hopes will be impactful speeches at large gatherings in different parts of the state. Well, Tamil Nadu BJP leader Khushbu Sundar, who was until just a few months ago a close aide of Rahul Gandhi in the Congress party, has called Rahul a miserable failure. She also accused Rahul of displaying fake love for the state.
Nikkarwalas from Nagpur can never, ever decide the future of this state. Doesn't matter how many parades they have, Tamil Nadu's future will be decided by the youngsters of Tamil Nadu. We will not allow Narendra Modi to destroy the foundation of India. He's also got another confusion. He thinks that just because he can blackmail the government of Tamil Nadu, he can control the people of Tamil Nadu. He does not understand that only the Tamil people can decide on the future of Tamil Nadu. He has brought 3 new laws which are going to destroy Indian agriculture and hand Indian agriculture over to 2 or 3 big industries. Imagine that one of the laws clearly states that farmers cannot go to the court to protect themselves. Today, if we look at the nation and we see what the Prime Minister has done over the last 6-7 years, we see a weakened India, a divided India, a India where the BJP RSS ideology keeps spreading hatred throughout the country. Our biggest strength, our economy, has been demolished.
So these are the questions that we are asking. It's a it's a high voltage campaign that Rahul Gandhi is attempting to mount. One will have to wait and see how consistent Rahul is going to be on the ground, along with his ally, the DMK, which is the opposition party. So, is this something that Rahul Gandhi is going to be able to sustain? But just on the back of these 3 days of campaigning that Rahul Gandhi has done in Tamil Nadu, these are the questions that we're asking. Will the Nikkarwalas jibe be Rahul's chosen buzzword in Tamil Nadu? Remember, he always has these buzzwords, catchphrases, Chaukidar Chor hai, etc. Is Nikkarwalas going to be something we're going to be hearing Rahul Gandhi saying a lot during this election? Number 2, has Rahul chosen this insiders versus outsiders as his theme in Tamil Nadu? Because he keeps talking about Tamil culture, Tamil politics and Hindi imposition and outsiders. So is that what he's going to do, like Mamta is doing in Bengal? Question number 3, has Rahul managed to create any splash so far in Tamil Nadu? There were big crowds, pretty impressive crowds, but will that translate into anything? Can Rahul Gandhi claim to be a soldier of the Tamil people? Lots of social media, attention and stuff being made on Rahul Gandhi, making him out to be some kind of soldier for the Tamil people in Delhi. I mean, is that just ridiculous politics, or is he really looking to sustain his attention on Tamil Nadu in the near future? Is Rahul's show of strength also for more tickets in a seat share with its ally, the DMK? Joining me live now to answer all of those questions and to take this forward, Khushbu Sundar, spokesperson of the BJP, until recently a spokesperson and leader of the Congress party. Vijay Dharani is an MLA of the Congress party. Narayan Lakshman is a senior journalist looking at politics and especially politics in Tamil Nadu. Welcome to you all. Ms. Sundar, to you first. Nikkarwalas, Tamil culture, soldier of the Tamil people. Many things have been said by Rahul Gandhi, in this whirlwind tour of Tamil Nadu that ends today. But what did you think of it? Because it looks like Nikkarwalas is going to be a new catchphrase by Mr. Gandhi.
No, I think it's not going to work here because this is what Mr. Gandhi tried even with Chaukidar Chor hai, but it failed miserably. I mean, you see how BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, they won the 2019 election. He thought Chaukidar Chor hai and people are going to buy this. No. Even when he takes a jibe and says Nikkarwala, I don't think it's for his standards to even speak such kind of words, Nikkarwalas. And I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi should have the courage to point out saying that rather than going, in phrases saying that Nikkarwalas or Nagpur, I mean, please be brave enough to directly say that RSS cannot rule Tamil Nadu. Why are you so scared to say the word RSS? I think Mr. Gandhi should show some courage. As far as talking about being the savior of Tamil culture, let me remind Mr. Rahul Gandhi that it's been 57 years since they've seen any kind of rule in Tamil Nadu, and they're not going to see it again in future. So glad that Mr. Rahul Gandhi finally is coming to Tamil Nadu because he knows this is a losing battle yet again for them after 2016, and this is why he's here.
Ms. Vijay Dharani, how would you respond to that? Because Rahul Gandhi already, is functioning already in the face of many headwinds. He has a reputation for not having the stamina to remain on one issue. There is already a perception that he's sort of parachuted down into Tamil Nadu, now before the elections after a vacation. How would you respond to the charge that he is looking for these catchphrases and these emotive issues because he lacks anything else?
See, you are making so many charges against Rahul ji. But when it comes to election, you have to realize that every leader has to come. It has a hue and cry. In BJP, Mr. Nadda comes, Mr. Narendra Modi comes. There are a lot of people who keep coming to the election-going states. When Rahul ji comes, you are talking too much against him, and all the time you
are I'm not. Ma'am, I'm not. I certainly am not. I'm asking you because the BJP is saying it.
What really happens? What really matters? When a leader comes to a state, you should appreciate. He's coming for his party. He's talking for his party. What is wrong in that? He's talking for the people of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu people are so much affected. They are so much drained out. They are affected because of various issues going on here. So what is wrong in Rahul ji?
Madam, I'll tell you what's wrong. I think it's more of a perceptional battle as well. You will surely agree with me, madam, that this is you can't suddenly have Rahul Gandhi coming into Tamil Nadu and claiming to be a soldier of the Tamil people. I mean, that's a little over the top. Of course, people must come to Tamil Nadu before the elections. It must be appreciated. Of course, it's appreciated. It's a good thing that Rahul Gandhi is there. I'm just saying it's a little over the top given Rahul Gandhi's erstwhile stamina with issues. It looks like Tamil Nadu is now his new pet project or hobby. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm only asking a question.
It should be a pet project. You should agree that it should be a pet project.
Okay.
5 state elections are going on. All the 5 states, we want Rahul ji to go there and take it as a pet project and do it. We wanted it to happen. And why do you say that why he is going now, why he is going there, why he is not going there?
No, you're right. You make a good point. Why not?
He is our leader. We have the liberty to call him. And he has a liberty to meet the Tamil people.
Khushbu, would you want to respond to that?
There is nothing wrong.
This is after all election season. Why is the BJP, climbing on Rahul Gandhi's head if he's there in Tamil Nadu?
See, BJP can come anywhere. BJP leaders can go anywhere. Nobody questions. If Congress leaders wants to come, everybody will question. And we make a jibe on something, you make a comment.
Khushbu, I'll just come to you. Let her finish.
And all these things.
No.
These things, definitely for election purpose, we have to make people understand what is going on in this country.
Ma'am, I'll tell you.
The farmers and laborers.
I'll tell you.
Is this government in this center? Is this government in this center responding to the request of the farmers and laborers.
I-
It is not doing.
Let
That
me-
is the reason Rahul Gandhi is.
I'll tell you why.
What is wrong in doing it?
There is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong, ma'am. Just to be, to very respectfully clarify, and then Khushbu can come in, and then I'll also go to Narayan. The only reason why this is catching attention is because, you know, you invoke the names of people like Nadda and Amit Shah and others. You know, the point is, they are so completely driven by election results, etc., that they are there. They're never off the battlefield. And Rahul Gandhi gives the impression that he needs to take these breaks, needs to take these holidays. Now, because the elections are here, he's suddenly in Tamil Nadu for all of this. I am only saying that there is a perception. I am not saying for a moment that it's wrong for Rahul Gandhi to be there. And I agree with you when you say it should be appreciated. Khushbu, why is the BJP making such a big deal out of this?
BJP is not making a big deal out of it. I mean, why Mr. Rahul Gandhi is going out of the way to prove that he cares for the people of Tamil Nadu? This is what happened to him all these years. I mean, we see Congress here for 57 years. Mr. Rahul Gandhi was the president of Congress. Then he resigned, and then he is taking in charge again. And if he is coming in as a leader, why is he trying to beat his own trumpet and say that I care for the people of Tamil Nadu? If you care for the people of Tamil Nadu, you should have cared for the people of Tamil Nadu in all these years. 57 years you have been in slumber, you have been sleeping, trying to ride on somebody else's back, trying to shoot with a gun on somebody else's shoulders, whether it was DMK or ADMK. What happened to the Congress party in the last so many years after Kamaraj rule? Why there was no love for the people of Tamil Nadu? Why suddenly this love has erupted in Mr. Rahul Gandhi's heart for the people of Tamil Nadu?
Okay, Vijay Dharani, quick response to that, then I'll bring in Narayan. The allegation is that this is selectivity by Rahul Gandhi. Since there's an election here, he's come down for a few days, and very soon he'll move on to something else. This has nothing to do with Tamil culture and Tamil people and, you know, all those other lofty things that are being spoken of.
See, now you have to take really the substance. What he spoke for the Tamilians. He is a leader for the entire country. He is speaking for Tamils, which is
Please, he's not a leader for his own
what
party.
Is wrong in
He's
doing
not
it?
He's not even the president of the Congress, Vijay Dharani. He's not even willing to take charge of the Congress party.
He is the leader of this party and he is the former president of Congress.
No, I
He has a right to speak.
I sometimes...
You have a right to speak. When you have a right to speak, he has a right to speak. As a parliament member, he has a right to speak. As an MLA,
he definitely has a right to speak.
No, but
everybody can speak.
But Vijay Dharani, ma'am, surely this is an important question. If Rahul Gandhi is reluctant to even take charge of his own party, where is the credibility for anything else? If all of you are asking him to take charge of his party and he is still refusing to do so, how does one entrust such a person with the future of the Tamil people?
He wanted the party elections to go on. Once the party elections go on, maybe he will become the party leader. That we will wait and watch. It is our own party decision. Why are you making a hue and cry about it?
Because it's because of... I'll tell you why. It's because of things like this. Ma'am,
why you are making a hue and cry of all these?
Let me tell you why I'm making a hue and cry. Because the opposition is a part of our constitutional system. The opposition is a part of our constitutional system, and because of the lack of leadership and the disarray in the Congress, the opposition is the way it is. And that's the reason why the many things that are happening in this country is because there is a very weak opposition. So please remember that hue and cry is very important even when it comes to the opposition. I say this to everyone with great respect, but let's keep the focus. Let's keep the focus on Rahul Gandhi. Just for a moment, ma'am.
Even in being in can I explain this? Can I explain this? See, being in the opposition, still we are weak in the parliament, I do agree. But despite that, our leader Rahul Gandhi has raised a lot of questions against his government.
Come on,
this government, BJP government, do they have the guts? Do they have the guts to answer all these? All these days, so many farmers are in the roads.
There are talks happening between the government and the farmers. What are you talking about? Ma'am, there are talks. No, let's not divert this issue. There is a dialogue happening between the farmers. There is a dialogue happening between the farmers and the government. Let's not divert it into something else. Rahul Gandhi, let's not forget that Rahul Gandhi went away on a vacation right when the farm protests were happening. He should have stayed here if you're talking about the farm protests. But that's a separate topic. That's a separate topic. That's a separate topic. We're not debating Rahul Gandhi's vacations here.
Commenting.
No, ma'am.
Even Khushbu used to go to Dubai on a vacation.
Khushbu is not the president of the Congress party, ma'am, or the de facto leader. Come on. Narayan is waiting very patiently with a smile on his face. No. Khushbu is not been the leader, has not been the president of the Congress party. Come on. I mean, you're defending the indefensible now.
I am not a party president. I don't head a party, Vijayadharani.
No, everyone has a right to do that, but then you shouldn't expect a lot of credibility by saying that you're a soldier of the Tamil people.
Going on vacation. If I question you, will you release?
1.5 years I have not gone, ma'am, since you asked. Anyway, that's not the point. I am not the point here. Khushbu is not the point because she's not been. I have not been on a vacation in 1.5 years, but that does not make me great. It's only because of the work, the nature of the work and the pandemic. Forget that. Forget all that. This is not about me. Narayan. Ma'am, I'll come back to you.
I'll tell you something. See, in an election going state, we have to take the issues and talk for the people.
Okay. So you're saying Nikkarwalas is an issue?
For the people in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
We have called him. It is we, the Tamilians and the party.
Forget about this. Okay. I hear you.
And he's representing us.
I hear
There's
you.
nothing wrong in doing it.
Vijayadharani, ma'am, there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. Please. The thrust of this debate is not that there is anything wrong with it. I am saying that is it because there is going to be a credibility issue? That's my question. I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
Agreeing. I appreciate.
Narayan. Okay. Peace. Everyone, peace. Let me bring Narayan in. He's been waiting very patiently. He's a very patient guy. Narayan, Nikkarwalas, will that have any resonance in Tamil Nadu? I know the insider-outsider Hindi imposition issue is an emotive thing. Do you think Rahul Gandhi spouting Nikkarwala, making it a buzz phrase, will have any kind of impact in this election?
Shiv, thank you. Firstly, I'm happy always to patiently wait for such substantive debates as what you just had now. But to answer your question, I don't think so, because the people of Tamil Nadu are two things. One, they're extremely astute and they vote on issues. And two, they are now at the eye of a storm. They are at the very fulcrum of a major change happening in Tamil Nadu politics. And that is that there's a power vacuum that developed after Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi passed away. Yeah. And at the same time, the BJP has been, storming many bastions, different states across the country, and is seeking to enter the South, is seeking to make a bigger impact. And so literally the state's politics itself is up for grabs. And in a way that it has not been historically since 1967, when the Dravidian parties consolidated their hold and forever pushed out national parties, as it were, or not forever, maybe for many, many decades. So I think the one thing I would agree with what statements that Rahul Gandhi made maybe in the past day or two is, he said it is for the youth of Tamil Nadu to decide. And I really think that is important, Shiv, because the Dravidian movement itself maybe has changed form and no longer resonates with the youth. Maybe in its old form of Tamil exceptionalism and Tamil nationalism, it only echoes with the older generation who may have passed on or moved on. And so today it's actually quite exciting. And that is the reason you're having such feisty debates on your channel today, because both the BJP side and as well as the Congress side, whatever their weaknesses and strength at the national level, they are trying to come into Tamil Nadu and prove themselves and prove that they can get past that. In the Congress's case, it is the allegation of elitism, as you correctly sort of fleshed out. In the BJP's case, they have very difficult questions to answer in terms of blending their rather bridging their brand of Hindutva politics with the very strong movement of Dravidian politics, which has a distinct identity of its own and in many ways contradicts Hindutva politics.
Narayan, so let me bring Khushbu in on the youth factor that you just mentioned. Khushbu, do you want to add to that? Narayan says he doesn't think the Nikkarwalas issue will have any resonance, but Rahul Gandhi is saying the youth will decide, which may seem to some to be a platitude, but Rahul Gandhi does say this very often. How do you see that comment playing out as far as the election is concerned? Because even the BJP has always said youth.
No, I completely agree. The next generation, and I've been saying it for a very, very long time, that it's the next generation, the youth, who's going to decide as to who's going to win the election. And it's all over the country, not in Tamil Nadu alone. Even in Bihar, when you have elections, The next generation is going to decide. And let me tell you, it's not about BJP's ideology is not about Hindutva alone. We are looking at the growth of the country. We are looking at how we can grow, how we can move from strength to strength is what the ideology of BJP is about. And when you talk about Nikkarwala or Hindutva ideology, please let me tell you today, Mr. M.K. Stalin picks up a veil and says that he does believe in God. So that shows that BJP has arrived with a huge force, and where it's forcing even Mr. Stalin to pick up a veil and talk about Hindutva. So I think, you know, BJP is definitely going to make a mark.
Okay.
We're not saying that we're going to win and we're going to stand alone or make a huge difference or we're going to go to the fore directly. No, we are going to fight an election, but we are going to fight it fairly and with all the policies and the elements which we have been talking about of taking the country forward and bringing the youth together.
Okay.
And let me tell you once again, it's not about Hindutva alone. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi saying Nikkarwala, like I said, please, Mr. Gandhi, have the courage to say RSS directly. Nikkarwala does not suit your image.
Okay. Vijay Dharani, 2 points. One, respond to what Narayan said about Nikkarwalas having no resonance. And two, on this youth issue, the youth plank has been used by Rahul Gandhi before, most notably in 2014. He tried to do it again in 2019. And it kind of backfired badly because when he was pitched against Narendra Modi, which he's attempting to do now also in his speeches, the electorate appeared to see Narendra Modi as more of a youth icon than Rahul Gandhi. So is this dangerous territory for Rahul Gandhi?
See, Tamil Nadu, you just go back to 2019 elections. Don't go back to 2014. Don't go to the 2011 or 16 assembly elections.
Lok Sabha elections 2019.
Just go back to the recent 2019 parliament election. What happened? Rahul Gandhi's statement has proved. He has told very clearly the youth will decide. The youth has decided to give the entire lot in Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry to the hands of Congress and DMK.
So you're saying this will be replicated in the upcoming election?
Proved. Rahul Gandhi's statement has proved. So the same thing will now.
What happened
It's
in
not too long back.
You see what happened.
Khushbu, I'll come to you. Let us
You
finish.
won the state assembly election, but MP election you were zero. I mean, the voting pattern differs from Lok Sabha polling to assembly polling. Please get that straight.
But Vijay Dharani is saying that the Congress is hoping that the same pattern of voting will be replicated in the assembly elections that's coming up then.
2019, the parliament elections in Tamil Nadu, people voted for Rahul Gandhi. They made it very clear that Rahul ji has to become the Prime Minister of this country.
Okay.
That was the thought of Tamilians. Even now, they have kept their
I don't
mind
think the
as
DMK
such.
is going to be very
And
happy
now
with that, but
they are
okay.
very clear that our alliance head, Mr. M.K. Stalin, is being projected as the Chief Minister, now candidate. Now we support that cause, and definitely Rahul ji's projection as Mr. Stalin as his Chief Minister will work out, and the youth and the elderly people, everybody will vote for this combination and make it as a very big success. Even in 2016 election, DMK Congress combination.
No, because expecting the same kind of voting pattern to repeat between a Lok Sabha and a state election is a dangerous thing.
Only 1% difference. And now it doesn't make any
Vijay Dharani, let Khushbu speak. Let Khushbu speak, then I'll get a final word from Narayan.
We will be catching the power in Tamil Nadu for sure.
Okay,
Even
Khushbu.
all the opinion polls that are coming out clearly establishes that the DMK Congress and allies will sweep the polls.
Khushbu, respond to that. 2019 was a message for the BJP in Tamil Nadu, says Vijay Dharani.
Parliament elections, you have to take it into consideration.
Okay.
Ma'am, can I respond?
Yes,
Ma'am,
yes, yes.
can I
Respond, Khushbu.
First of all, the voting pattern changes from the assembly to the Lok Sabha election. We saw what happened in 2016. 2016, DMK still holds it against the Congress that had they not taken 44 and won only 8, then probably DMK would have been in power. And they still hold it against the Congress. So this election in 2021, Congress cannot ask for more seats. And I'm sure DMK is not going to part with 44 what they gave in 2016.
Okay.
Because it's a very, very bitter lesson with which they have learned. And Vijay Dharani ma'am, you being an MLA, you will know very well that even in Madhya Pradesh, you won the assembly election, but what happened in parliament election? You didn't win even one seat, which was in a span of 6 months.
Okay.
So the voting patterns changed. Please do not rest in saying that 2019 we won. 2000 there were only 8 MPs you have.
I want to. Okay.
They do not decide the future of
there
Mr. Rahul
is
Gandhi as
also
the
one
chief
theory. There is also a theory. Okay.
Contested 9 MPs.
There is also a theory. There is also a theory. Madam, one second. There is also a theory. There is also a theory that Rahul Gandhi's show of strength is also in an effort to flex a little bit of muscle to get more seats in the seat sharing arrangement with the DMK. We can't speculate on that. Those are internal alliance matters. I'm sure even if Vijay Dharani ma'am knows about it, she's not going to say it on national television. But Narayan, final word here. You know, the Tamil culture, the Tamil people, metaphor has been invoked again and again by Rahul Gandhi. He's always talked about, Tamil Nadu and India and Tamil Nadu. Is that going to have any particular resonance, you think? Because he said Nikkarwala a couple of times, but this Tamil culture proposition is something that he's latched onto and said quite a few times. Since you said it's the young people of Tamil Nadu who will decide, is that going to have any resonance?
I don't think so. I mean, it may have some resonance in a limited way, Shiv, because look, the Tamil people, I think at the end of the day, do believe that they are an exceptional community, a state, and, it has to do with their language and their history as well. And I think even when you look at parties which govern the state, the ADMK and the DMK historically, the brand of governance and politics that they bring is quite unique. So, the reliance on mass welfare politics, mass welfare policies, the willingness to stretch public finances even to the point of bankruptcy to bring development to the states. And even in the face of criticism that sometimes industries find it difficult to locate here. These are unique features of the Tamil state. Now, the question is, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's national economic model of politics, his economic model in terms of reliance on growth, will that resonate here? It's really, at the end of the day, as they say, it's about the economy, stupid. So it's about, will the youth, this is your question about the youth, will the youth really go for that model where they say, look, we don't want what some people call freebie politics. We want growth-based policies. We want to be part of the new India, the rest of India, or we want Tamil Nadu's unique model to continue. So these are the huge questions which they're wrestling with. And I think it's very exciting this next election, because what the youth, as well as some of the older generation answer this question, will really put the state in a new direction or decide that it's going to go along the path of Dravidian politics for the 21st century.
Let me just say as I end, 10 seconds to you, Vijay Dharani ma'am, because you've just come on to our show for the first time. 10 seconds to you.
I do appreciate Mr. Narayan telling that growth-based politics is always good. I do appreciate him. And you go back and see what BJP is doing in Tamil Nadu, taking the Muruga Veil and going around and doing all this divisive regional and religion politics. They're taking the veil and doing it. So this is growth politics. This is 2019 election.
Okay.
Narayanji, you are.
I'm out of time.
Politics, I'll be very happy.
Okay. Let me end on a positive note. Let me end on a positive note. All I will say is, as a democracy, as a democracy, it's good to see politicians, even reluctant politicians, hitting the battlefield. I will just say that. I will just say it's good to see big leaders on the battlefield, even if they're reluctant otherwise. Let's hope we see much more. Let's hope. I'll end with this. Vijay Dharani ma'am, you'll be happy with this last comment. You'll be happy with this last comment. Let's hope we see much more of Rahul Gandhi in Tamil Nadu. For everyone, let's hope Mr. Rahul Gandhi returns to Tamil Nadu very soon. We can all have many more debates and discuss it threadbare. Thank you so much to all of you for this very enjoyable debate here on 5 Live. Well, the Rahul Gandhi controversy doesn't end there, because another thing that he mentioned during one of his public meetings in Tamil Nadu has now raised hackles with military veterans in the country. At least 20 Army, Navy and Air Force veterans, many of them highly decorated, have lashed out at Rahul Gandhi after he made a speech in Tamil Nadu on Sunday, where a part of his speech, he said that the country would not need the Army, Navy and Air Force if it used its labor laborers, farmers and workers and empowered them. Now, the veterans have issued a statement saying that they're deeply shocked and hurt by Rahul Gandhi's comments, even though many supporters of Rahul Gandhi have clarified that he basically meant that economic power would deter adversaries trying to make gains on Indian territory. They say, the veterans say, that they have the highest regard for Indian workers, laborers and farmers. However, the armed forces of India are also a very dedicated, highly trained professional outfit. And they said that the force's reputation cannot be casually undermined by irresponsible leaders like Rahul Gandhi. That's what they've said in an open letter.
You are using the Indian Army, the Indian Navy, the Indian Air Force to protect India from China. If you use India's laborers, India's farmers, India's workers, you will not need the Army, Navy and Air Force to be standing over there. China will not have the guts to come inside.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.